What do we want? AI. Like, when do we want it? Right now.
Because we want to do AI.
But some of the stuff is just pure bullshit, you know? AI doesn't have taste. You can give it taste, but really client just wants money. SEO, AI, all these are just tools to more money, right? If you use it, you upskill, you get comfortable with it. LinkedIn has no soul. It has no soul.
Hey all, I'm Sammy from Collaborator Pro. We are a PR and distribution marketplace connecting advertisers and publishers together. Today I'm receiving Chaudhary, founder of Alchemy Leads out of LA. And Sean runs his agency with 0 contracts, fire clients he doesn't like. Yes, you heard that right. And somehow still closes 40% of his leads through automation stack he built with Zapier and AI. So he went from doing SEO for CBD brands that couldn't run ads anywhere to now selling GEO to enterprise CMO by showing them that competitors don't exist in AI answers. Sean, welcome to the program. So excited to have you here.
Hey, so happy to be here, Sammy. Thank you for having me.
Man, as I told you before we started, I think this is the first time I'm not stressed about an episode. So really excited about this conversation. It's my 9th episode and, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate. And 9's a good number. 9 is Nick Van Exel, Rajon Rondo. So I'm happy with 9.
All right, let's do it then. I wanted to start with your no contract model. Can you walk us through the decision going no contract? And maybe was there a specific client or specific cases, maybe painful cases that happened that led you to this decision?
But really, client just wants money. That's all the client wants. More money. SEO, AI, all these are just tools to more money, right?
Yes, I think this is what we talked about in our pre-recording call. Like when I first started, and I'm ashamed to say that, but it took me a few years to realize it's not like when I first started. I thought clients wanted traffic. And then I brought the traffic to my clients and they're like, yeah, but where's the revenue? And I'm like, huh? Sorry?
Yeah. And I think that's like the biggest change, even with this AI stuff, is like, what is the metric that the client is judging you based on? And it almost always comes down to revenue. So even if traffic goes down, like with AI, if revenue and leads are better or the same, it's actually not the biggest worry. And sometimes you might talk to a CMO and they'll say they want SEO and they want a content strategy and they'll say some of these things. But if they're like an e-commerce site, why wouldn't you run ads immediately, get revenue immediately, get return on investment immediately while you're building something in the background?
Exactly. And then reallocate the budgets bit by bit once, you're...
Yeah, over time. And then sometimes what happens, and this is true, is that like your ads are killing it. They're spending $6,000, they're making $100,000 a month on ads. And the SEO, even though they care about the SEO, they don't really care about anything because they're making the money already. So that whatever intensity that like the goal is already accomplished. They wanted to hire a company to make them more money. They hired you. You're doing SEO, but the paid ads are making a lot of money. And so like they're already happy. You're going to keep doing the SEO. You're going to keep improving, but they already have like, the objective is already complete, which is make more money. So I think that's the other thing that we do a little bit differently. Other companies, like everything they do, they'll charge for, right? So if you're doing SEO and then you want to do ads, it's another fee and maybe a setup month and all of this other stuff. We'll literally with an SEO client, if they're a good fit for ads, we'll set up their ads in the same month that we do SEO. We're not even going to charge them another fee. Once that's making them money, then we're kind of baked into everything.
Because once everything is making them money, then I'm going to tell you to stop. Obviously, it's like when you look at, when you get a client, you need like 6 months of retention. And then after 6 months, basically 95% of them don't churn anymore.
Yes.
You put in a situation where they're going to say, yes, okay, let's continue because you already kind of did the work initially.
Did the work. And then also like good people are hard to find, right? So sometimes like once you find the person that you saw can do the work, you don't want to lose them. And it's like this with everything. Like, so I have the same accounting team that I've had since the beginning. We're a way different company. They're a way different company 10 years later, but I know that they're good. They've been awesome to me. So I keep them. I will probably never change. Same with like, construction and renovations. When I do renovations, I have a team that I trust. They always do good stuff. Might be a little bit expensive, but like I would rather have that peace of mind knowing they're going to do really good. And then you actually bring up a point that I try to tell people a lot too, which is that the trust. Sometimes sales reps can think of the trust, like when the client signs the contract and they pay you the money, first invoice, they think like, oh, we won, job's finished, we got money in the bank, like let's go make it rain. But
it only starts there. Like if you don't start over delivering from day one, you could.
Yes, it's so exactly. It starts right there. And those first 6 to 9 months, you work your ass off, you front load. That's the other thing about contracts that I think people don't realize. When you say you have a $10,000 a month contract for a year, they usually try to spend less than that every month for profit, right? And sometimes big differences. But if you have a month-to-month company and you pay that same agreement, it's kind of in our interest to use all of that budget back on you and then get you the results. And then you're like, oh shit, it's working. Once we have that buy-in, usually month 6, month 9, sometimes month 4, once it's like, oh, hey, the phones are ringing, we have more leads, our sales reps are busier, their problems change where they're like, okay, now we have to hire a new guy to help our shipping guy, or we have to hire a new sales rep to be an assistant to our, there's too many leads coming in. They usually get uptown problems, and you'll have a call. Yeah, uptown problems. And then you'll have a call with them where they're like, oh, dude, I see it working. Like, you look at the numbers over a year, like, oh shit, we hit an all-time high in revenue. That's when you have the trust. And then, like you said, if you really do good work for a customer, like the first 6 to 9 months, and then they see something and they're like, okay, it's working. We have customers that have been with us 10 years and we don't have that model. Yeah, one of our customers, some have been with us a decade.
Well, coming back to how you started, because we're the same age, but you, more or less, and you're telling me that you're already working, so you dropped out. I also dropped out to play online poker, like not to create my own company when I was younger. But can you kind of walk me through how you got started and how the different steps of your path and how you managed to, where you understand how to properly generate leads, and next step, how to properly service your clients. And then I see that you went from SEO to PPC and all of that. So for people that are just starting and are kind of lost, can you give us like a quick, overview of how it went?
Yeah, this is probably my favorite thing to talk about. My son is 14 and 15, and sometimes his friends will ask us, what should I do? And it's my favorite thing to talk about. So I'm very different in the way that I think. Some people would say, go to college, get a degree, and start doing whatever thing. I am kind of against that. I think a 4-year degree is, in different industries, it's still good. Like doctor, you still need, if you're going to be a nuclear scientist, you still need, there are certain things you need a degree for. But I would say whatever it is you want to do, try to identify that. Like what type of life do you want to talk to people? Do you want to make deals all day? Do you want to not talk to people and just be at a computer? Like, do you want to be inside? Do you want to be outside? Think about all that stuff at a younger age, and then work at a company. So I would rather have an 18-year-old that, like, if he wants to be an agent for basketball players, I would rather have someone who interned at an agency for basketball players for 4 years, and then have someone who, got a nice college degree in the same field. I would rather have the person with the experience. So with me, I would say, the first 6 or 7 years, I was learning inside of agencies. So I was learning every part of it. So at first I was sales, but then, you have to have marketing, onboarding, and then you learn that piece, then you learn this piece, you learn kind of piece. And then over time, you start to be able to, you could do it yourself over time. Everyone's different, but I always recommend to work at a company first.
Man, this is a perfect path when you think about it, when you forget all the BS that we hear about what we need to do in order to have a successful life or whatever. Like the way you did it, apparently, it's like literally by learning and being in the action. And starting with sales too, I used to be scared of sales, and now after gaining more experience, I realize I'm really good at sales and I love it. I think I was too shy initially, but go for starting from sales, understanding the pain point, understanding how to present everything, how to sell yourself, to then going to all the different areas. I think it's one of the best way of doing it and properly scaling, your skills. So if I had to develop a program, I think I would do it like this, and not just like 4 years of bullshit of theoretical approach where you never applied anything that you learned in uni. So that's kind of crazy. Like basically you just went your own way and learned everything on your own instead of following the regular path.
Yeah, and I think I got lucky. So like I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. And I have to tell people, I didn't know what I was doing any of the steps of the way. It's like once you look back, you can see, oh, okay, it worked out however it worked out. But that's the other thing too. So I would say like overanalyzing. Some people really overanalyze the plan of what they want to do. And I need to go to this company and I need to do it like this and that. And I would say sometimes just taking the next step. Like you don't really know 5 steps down, but you know the next step is I just want to do this thing. And then, so you don't really know, how it's happening. And I think luck is a part of it, luck, timing, so I got lucky in a lot of ways. And then some of it is just like necessity, need. Like that first company that I got hired in 2008, it was like there was a financial crisis. College, I was getting student loans. I was like, I need to start making money, not like being in debt.
Back against the wall.
Yeah, so it was like a life or death thing almost. Like, dude, how are you going to pay that? So I got a job, and that happened to be that I did really good at. And at that time, I was fascinated by SEO. It was like the word algorithms in 2008, like a search algorithm. I thought that was the coolest. Cool. Like, Mom, I do work with algorithms. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so
Do you tell your mom you were working for Google though?
Well, they still to this day, they have no idea.
No, like I know I'm still working for. I'm like, no, Mom, come on.
They still have no idea. And even like little tech things around the house, they're like, oh, you're IT, you could do this. I'm like, no.
That was my favorite thing, especially in my first role. Hey, Sam, you good with IT and stuff? Like, can you fix the printer? I'm like, huh?
Yeah. Like, no, I hate that. That's why
I actually did.
You did? You could do that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I was fixing printers. Like my first role, I was literally like office manager, taking care of the cleaning personnel, ordering food for the staff, organizing the events. Like I was the intern, wanted to help as much as possible. The growth hacker, yes, a term.
Yeah.
And so they took advantage of that. It was great because I learned everything. I was working from operation, hiring to. I burned out after like 18 months.
Yeah.
But the learning experience itself, so valuable. And it was the CBD company I told you about, actually.
Oh yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, that's a funny story too. The whole CBD industry, it had its boom. And it's another thing with timing that when we first started, we had a lot of CBD clients, probably because it was 2016, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And so we made a little bit of a name for ourselves there. We're actually now we do hardly any work with CBD, maybe none. And so it's less of a focus, but that's another thing that just timing. In the 2015 through like right before COVID, CBD was huge. There were a lot of companies. And then I think now it's commoditized and it's tough to run a successful shop,
Yeah, I mean, the brand I was working for, they were one of the leaders in Europe in 2017-18, Harmony. And they just literally 2 months ago, they closed out.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sell their stock. So, yeah. And I realized, in 2019, I think 20, that CBD was starting to be a bit sketch and dying. And I went from like this kind of hippie being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make the world a better place, whatever bullshit. I'm gonna help make a change, to like, okay, this is dead. Let me move on to something else, to go to regular e-com. But that was fun for a while though.
Yeah, it was fun. And I think same thing, there was definitely stuff we learned. And then those industries from an SEO perspective are always fun to work with. Industries that are kind of gray, they're not allowed to do certain things. So like firearms is another industry that can be really fun to work with on SEO. But they have to do SEO. They can't run ads. They can't, do too much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a need for it. And I think there are other industries that are similar that are in the same position. But we got lucky too. Same as you. We just realized like, hey, e-commerce. I would say in our breakdown of clients, 50% are e-commerce, direct to consumer, cool, trendy. And then the other 50% are like industrial.
Old school, construction, and that stuff.
physical businesses. Yeah, construction, building building battery packs for satellites and crazy. Yeah, crazy stuff I could never do. Yeah. Yeah. And we stumbled upon it. We didn't try to do that. We just noticed, hey, a lot of our clients are either industrial and like work, on big projects, like commercial projects, or they're like the cool mattress company, that's e-com.
I made the mistake when I first started. I was kind of, when I say first started, I would say maybe the first 5 years. Again, I made a mistake of really judging the projects based on their sexiness, and construction was not that sexy, and I realized after a while that, all those, the plumbers, the blue collars, it's where all the money is, and it's going to be over the next few years. And it took me a while to realize that it's not because the project seems quote unquote sexy, like super interesting or whatever, that is going to be the most lucrative for you. And you need to understand where the money is. And again, it did take me a few years to just grasp the concept.
And we're still grasping the concept. I agree with what you're saying. Like, I call some of them boring businesses.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound sexy, but think about it like a battery pack, creator for satellites isn't in demand. And you're never going to be able to, like, there's no AI replacement for that. You're still going to have to get the battery pack onto the satellite, And so I think those companies are really interesting, and a lot of them are outdated in some ways. So even adding small things that every other company might know. I'll give you an example, a CRM. I know of a company that's like a 30 to 50 revenue company and doesn't have a CRM. It has like 17 salespeople. They all use some version of like a spreadsheet or a notebook.
Spreadsheet and notebook? What are you talking about?
Yeah, seriously. And we just had a call about it that like, hey, you know what? Just having a CRM that has, they're a 100-year-old company. So like just having all of our contact data live somewhere would be a big upgrade. And you could track, the leads that are coming in, what's happening. So far, a lot of it is tracked in different ways. So, for companies like that, that's the other cool thing about working with those boring companies is sometimes fixes that you think are very simple can make a big impact because they're not even
huge.
Yeah. And then again, real businesses. So, they have real expenses, but real physical businesses, not like an AI GPT wrapper, that's vibe coded on
90% of the Silicon Valley. What? Who said?
Yeah, exactly. Another Uber Eats that's faster than Eats. You know what I mean?
No, game changer, guys. Stop everything. Just fired my team and replaced it with ChatGPT.
Claude is running my whole shit.
I did fire my team, but I didn't have one to fire first.
I think we talked about some of that too on our last call, which is like, you love the hype and like you gotta listen to the hype a little bit and you have to like explore, but some of the stuff is just pure bullshit,
Yeah, man. Speaking of about bullshit, right now I've been spending all of my free time on AI. I'm not gonna lie. So some of it, the way I think it's sold on LinkedIn is bullshit, but I think at the same time, I see people being too polarized between, AI will never replace us. You need to do SEO audits manually. No, you don't. For the last months, I've been creating all my automation with MCP servers, connecting to data for SEO, Google Search Console, Playwright to render the pages, the JavaScript and everything. And I can automate right now 70% of my audits with quite a good quality. And the other side of things, you have people saying, fire everyone. AI is going to replace everything next week. And I use my prompt to change everything. So I think there's like a big problem. People are too polarized. And I know that you use AI, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on, how to use AI in a way that makes sense, that's still reasonable, that's not just retarded, but that still make you money, actually.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect explanation of it. There's a middle ground. What do we want AI? Like, when do we want it? Right now.
When you want it? Yeah.
Yeah, we want it now. And then it's like, why do we want it? And it's like, we don't know.
Because we want to do AI. It's like, especially with bigger companies that don't necessarily know what they're doing, and they have like, dozens of layers of management. I work for like the second largest bank in France, BTC, and I'm always frustrated because I can't do shit for them. Literally, like it takes 6 months to buy one backlink. It takes 2 months to publish one article. It's just, it's just so hard. And for them, actually, just being mentioned, in LLMs or just getting one mentioned there, it is a win. This is how they measure success, though. So it really depends on the kind of clients that you get.
And that's a good point. I think we talked about it. The corporate review of things is too long. It's sometimes too long. Like
Sometimes,
yeah, almost always, right?
I
This week where you're talking to a whole room of 10 people and it's the most simple thing. Like, we have these 12 resource pages that are going to go up and it just becomes hours of deliberation and people when in that point. And so the company that has that kind of corporate structure actually probably could benefit from automation. In some of those decisions and conversations,
But the mindset is just so old in those companies that at least for this French company, even for the automation in terms of regulations, they cannot have any. They need like specific, respecting the specific regulations in terms of data processing and all of that. So at the end of the day, they're gonna always be late, and that's good for me. There's an opportunity for me to sell services that I think I shouldn't be able to sell because I don't think I'm providing so much value when you're used to working with startups and scale-ups and you have to deliver non-stop and really be, always like finding new ways of bringing new revenue and new pipeline. And those guys are just like, oh yeah, one LLM mention is fine on this. Oh yeah, the content plan you did last year, we're gonna maybe work on it next.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually, I think, shows about the boring businesses versus the very techie businesses, that sometimes like the boring businesses are easier to work with because some of the simple things can improve so much for them. And so then and that's a really good position to be in. So I think automation right now is very powerful and a lot of things can be automated. I think some companies just want AI, but they don't know why they want it. Like for instance, a restaurant really doesn't need AI, maybe for like bookings and reservations, but there are apps that do that. But where they're going to want AI is eventually there will be a robot making the food.
Shit. Okay, I'm not there yet. That's fun that you said that. Earlier I was thinking, I cannot stop thinking about how to apply AI everywhere. I was ordering on Uber Eats and I was thinking, why there's no AI layer there? Why they're not pitching me like to try either something else, to ask me how I'm feeling today, what do I want to eat? Do I want to discover like any Indian food or something like that? So that's fun that you mentioned that.
Yeah, and maybe they can use it. So it's going to be different for every company. Like an industrial company that needs like a chemical input to go to all of their factories around the country needs like a modeling software that can tell which factories need the input, maybe on a predictive basis. But then a Wendy's is just going to maybe have, or McDonald's might have a robot making your burger. That's how AI might really be useful for them. So it's different in a lot of ways. I also think this is something that I have a customer that was an e-commerce, like a CMO in the 2000s, the .com bubble.
Ooh.
And so he has a really cool perspective. Sometimes I go back and forth between like how much of this is hype versus like real world usage. And he said something to me about the .com bubble, which was like in the .com bubble, people knew the internet was going to change everything. They knew that like e-commerce, Amazon was a company back then. And so they knew that the internet was going to change everything. It got a lot of hype. It got overvalued. The bubble blew up. And so some people could say at that point, like, oh, it didn't work. But if you fast forward like 8 years, get to 2008, 2009, the Apple iPhone comes out, the App Store comes out, and Amazon is doing 2 days shipping, right? So all of those things about the internet changing the world and like being this thing that was gonna, make everything cheaper and better, it did come true like 10 years after the bubble. So that's sometimes what I think about this too, when you look at like the valuations and the hype in the markets around AI and data. So
like, I love where you're going. I was about to say the same. Like we're in the middle of it. Like it's about first.
I think from a financial standpoint, it could, but I don't think, if you look at the long, 8 years from now, you look at 2035, I think it can be a very different world in 2035. This hype that we're having in 2026 might be a little early, Like, I don't think people are going to get fired tomorrow and like AI is going to replace everybody. That's not, but it
Okay, I think
years.
I might disagree on that. I think this is starting to happen this year. It's going to happen even more over the next few years. This is more like a macro analysis, and because I love trading too, plus my personal like opinion on that. But I do think that it started to happen now, and most people are not realizing, and I'm scared about that. And I think I'm also being too dramatic. I'm always too dramatic and too early. So that goes with your point. But I'm really concerned about people not embracing AI to try to improve themselves and just being like, oh yeah, whatever, never going to replace us. It's not going to replace you if you still know how to use it, leverage it, and become more efficient with it.
Yeah.
If you don't, 100% you're gone. Like,
Yeah.
you're gone in my opinion, you're gone in 2 years from now, max.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that again, that's a nuance, which is like, if you use it, you upskill, you get comfortable with it, you have different platforms you can use to get different things done, then you can always be in, because AI doesn't have taste. You can give it taste,
Exactly.
perception, but the humans you want a human to have the final call.
Yeah.
If your marketing manager like starts posting AI slop videos as like your Facebook ads, that can have a damaging effect, on the brand.
Yeah.
So I think you need humans who are comfortable with it. And I definitely think like junior roles anywhere, entry level, anything, bookkeeper, paralegal, entry level stuff, I do think is the first to get wiped out, because AI can do everything the junior can do.
Yeah, and this is going to create some problems later on with the different stages. If you have less junior, then in a few years from now, like, you'll have problems with having less seniors too.
Yeah.
But who knows what's going to happen in a few years from now with AI and automation and all of that. I think that marketing is still not like solved, and it's going to take more time because, as you said, there are more nuances, and it's not like programming. In my opinion, programming is already kind of solved by AI.
Yeah.
So yeah, different approaches. Coming back to the tools, can you tell us a bit about the automation stack that you have, the AI tool that you experimented with? And when I say AI, I also encompass automation, in the last 3 years with Zapier and all of that. For me, that kind of goes along too.
Yeah, I think, AI and automation, I think automation is super useful everywhere. I think in our sales process, we have a bunch of automations running. I couldn't even probably give you the exact tool stack. I know that there's probably a scraper. There's like, I know Clay is in the process.
Enrich data.
Yeah, instantly. I think maybe Mailscale, Expandy. There's like all these ones that are in there. So I have people on my team smarter than me, and which is the best. I am the real technical expert on a lot of that stuff. I know Scrunch is a tool that we love, AI SEO tool. Really like Scrunch AI. Yeah.
I never heard about it. I think
my favorite out of the tools. We're an agency partner. I think they have a great team. And basically it's like, the AI visibility, LLM visibility, prompt research.
I got you. Okay, I never heard about it. I'm interested in prompt modeling right now. And fun thing, I built my own, last year I built my own with Replit, my own geo tracker to track your website. I will share the tool with you to get feedback. Thank you, man. I just revived the project, and now I pushed it further. I don't want just to track. I want to give tips on how to improve your page based on analysis of competitors. So we're scraping everything. I created a database with all the best practices and studies and data from like Kevin Inding, Search Engine Land, Ahrefs, and all of that, and then putting everything, comparing. So it's really interesting. But at the same time, I want to know how the big guys are doing it properly, because I have so many questions. When you start building, you realize, like, at least for me, I'm like, wait, how does this work, and how they're doing it, and how they manage to do some grounding with or not grounding the LLM, and I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I would love to give you access to our Scrunch account, and you could see, how they geeking. Yeah, it's really cool. I think a lot of it's really cool. A lot of useful things you can do. You mentioned it. I think citations, finding like the grounding citations, I think that changes. So a lot of this AI SEO stuff is really an evolution on traditional SEO and classic SEO. So, back in the day, instead of building backlinks to a business blog that had a certain domain rating and some traffic, that would be a backlink. now it's like, okay, where does the AI look for grounding information? And so I find really interesting targets from that AI citations report, and it's different in different industries. So like in industrial, I see the Thomas net, which is like the old, almost like yellow pages for like industrial companies.
Yeah.
I see it come up so much. And so now a backlink, an AI citation is a little bit more targeted. It's like, hey, instead of that random business blog, let's get your company featured on ThomasNet. You don't have a listing, it's a free listing, and that will influence some of our AI grounding. So I think tools are very helpful to help you see that, like a citations report. You can see the whole industry. What are the things that come up the most? Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's like, hey, we need a YouTube channel that's killing it because YouTube comes up a lot. So it's really helpful to create a strategy once you have the data. So we're big fans of Scrunch AI. I think that's our recommended AI tool. But then, we're longtime Ahrefs we've used for decades, like more.
Yeah.
And we like Brand Radar too. It's cool. I think with Ahrefs, it's always just the pricing stuff that they have.
So expensive.
Yeah.
I used to be a fan of Ahrefs for years, and now I barely use it anymore because I have my own. I built a few tools with the data for SEO, basically connected to my MCP servers and all of that. So I don't need Ahrefs.
Build us some tools. That's what I need.
I would love to, man.
Yeah.
So like this, maybe we cut this in the podcast. This is like right now I'm getting offers. I got not 3 offers, like 2 offers, just one in the process in the last months, and they all want me to manage their clients, and they offer like more money, and I'm like, I don't want to just manage clients. I want to build tools for people. I think I have a background in computer science, and I think I have a unique way of creating, and I love it. I'm just so obsessed and stubborn with it. I spend all my nights and weekends on it, and people will just want they just want me to manage clients, and I'm just losing my mind over it. I'm thinking, should I just create my own agency building tools for people? Because it is where my passion is.
I would do that. 100% I would do that. And it kind of speaks to what we were talking about earlier, which is like, sometimes you just do what you like and what you're good at, and then you just do it for yourself, and everything works. It just works.
Bit by bit, it works because you're authentic, and this is where, exactly.
And it's
I agree.
It's you. So like you are already doing work on the weekends, and like it's already something you want to work hard for. It's easier to work hard for something when it directly impacts you. It's like, so if you're going to a job that you hate and there's a salary and you're going to get paid, then it's easy to slack off because you don't even notice the difference if you're good or bad. But if it's for you and you start slacking off and you notice a difference, you know what I mean? Like the incentive to do good is there all the time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, I can't stop when I'm doing that. I'm working until I can't move my hands until 4 a.m. Like I fall asleep in front of the laptop because it's just so fascinating to me.
And you love that. And I'm telling you, speaking with clients all day would be soul draining after a while for a person like you who's more creative,
I know, but right now I'm talking, again, I'm probably going to cut that. I'm talking to an agency that's creating their own tool. They seem so smart, so good, and they're creating their own geo tool, and that might be the only way I would manage clients for 6 months while helping on the platform they're creating, and then bit by bit just go on a more high level role. And I can be with people around me.
Yeah, and it gives you both. You could do both, and hopefully just excel at the geo thing.
Yeah,
that's your main goal after.
By the way, bouncing back on what I just said, so I mostly worked alone most of my career, and I always felt like incomplete because of that. And when I was with teams, especially if the teams were like-minded, like if otherwise it was a bad fit, it was horrible. Mm-hmm. But when we were like-minded and really wanted to push and scale together, I felt like I was like 5 times better. And I wanted to ask you about your experience with building your company, building your team, and versus being alone. And if you have any recommendations for people that are trying to also get some kind of tribe around them to be able to scale and improve.
Wow, that's a great question. That's a really good question. I think so. I think you are alone. I'll start with that. Like there's a quote, like you're born alone, you die alone. Like as much as we like to think, it's really dark actually how that just sounded, but But basically, like, so you have to be at peace with yourself and be comfortable with yourself, and you have to be okay being alone. You can't need external, you know what I mean? So even if you have this dream and you're working on it alone, you need to be able to do it alone. I think especially in the beginning, because a lot of people, whenever you start something, people think you're crazy. Like even people everybody, they don't see it because they don't see what you're thinking and what your experience. They don't see that. So like, oh, I had it too. When I first started the company, I would get emails for like job applications for my family. And I'd be like, yo, like I have an office, like this is, I'm working on something, like, you know,
I'm good. Thank you. Like I'm doing my thing.
yeah, I'm doing my thing. Like, and they just didn't believe it because they were like, oh, you know, they don't see 40 people with you. It's on Zoom meetings and like Slack or whatever. So I think you're going to look crazy in the beginning and it's going to be kind of lonely, especially in the beginning. And then once you can get a team, for sure, it's the biggest thing you can do to help. Because one person can't do everything, you know, no matter, like you probably could do client management and sales, but where you really want to be is the creative, the, you know, kind of like cool automation, fun, you know, engineering work basically.
Yep.
So that's probably where you're best served. If it was you, I would say, you know, maybe then hire a sales guy to handle the sales so you could be the creative, the nerd behind the scenes, and the sales guy can do the talking, you can do the building. You know, so a team helps, but I think you have to be comfortable doing it, you know, yourself. And then once you have a team, it can amplify, it can magnify. For instance, when I started the company, I was doing a lot of things. And then I realized, like, you know what, I'm not the best ads person. I can do it, but like if I have to look at it every day, I will hate it. So you get an ads person and you get this person. And so anything that you don't want to do, you should definitely get people who can do those things, you know?
And how did you decide when to add more services? You talked about ads, you're doing SEO initially. I was also doing ads for a while, you know, as a growth guy. I was running Facebook ads with lots of great results. I didn't realize at that time they were that good. But how did you realize that, you know, I need to hire people and create this new service versus just doubling down on more of what you already know, like SEO services?
I think it's, again, a little bit of luck. So when you're doing it, the client kind of brings you in on other things.
Yeah. They start trusting you. They start asking about other topics, right?
This and that. And then I call it like guinea pigging. Sometimes you just need that client like that wants to be a test.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we're asking you to do this thing. You've never done it before, but we're happy to be a test and figure out what's going to go right and wrong. And so I think that helps a lot. So like with ads, we had clients back in the day who were like, hey, you're doing our SEO. Can you do our ads? Same thing with like website redesigns and some of the technical stuff. We'll have clients like, hey, we're building the software. It's almost done. Can you fix it? Can you finalize it? And we'll jump in and then you do that. And then you're like, okay, we can do software integrations. We can do websites. We can do, but you have to have that first experience, basically, you know, the client pulling you into that. And then I think I'm different on that too. Some people say to have like a cookie cutter list. I see this all the time on LinkedIn. It drives me nuts, but I get it. Like a repeatable list of like core services that you can always do, right? So like cookie cutter your agency. I'd seen like productize your service. So every time you sell an SEO account, they get the same things. They get 10, whatever, you know, types of content, new template pages. It
doesn't work so well from my experience.
It doesn't work at all. Yeah. Because every client is different. So that's advice I would give that's a little bit different than what the gurus say. The gurus would say like productize your service, have a repeatable thing that you could do over and over. In some industries, I think you can do it. Like if you're a creative industry and you just build the creatives, you could just do that over and over and over and probably be a successful company. But for an SEO company, especially if you want to be like white glove enterprise, every account, every client is totally different.
Yeah, I agree.
One customer might need more content. One customer might need way more press. One customer, it's like, there's so much shit we have to do. It's going to take a year just to get where you want to get. So that's the other thing I would say is that like some people say like only do one service over and over. I say like, you know, just make the client more money. Just if you have a good product, it means that the client made more money when they worked with you. So do whatever it takes to learn how to make a client make more money, whatever that is.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I had like a point, I forgot it. I think because I'm not fighting, but I've been pushing in an agency I'm working for. They've been trying to sell SEO services. They don't know so much about SEO. They mostly do Google Ads. I've been helping them work on their offer. And I'm like, guys, you can't offer like the same thing. They've been offering 2 backlinks to a crypto company that's just launching and trying to compete with top crypto companies established for years with hundreds of millions of dollars marketing budget. And then the same for another company that's completely different. I'm like, no. I mean, the budget could be the same, but then you need to reallocate the budget. Those guys, they need lots of content. Those guys, they actually need content pruning. They have too many dead pages. Those guys, they need backlinks more than anything else.
Yeah.
And it was not an easy case to make because they're like, yeah, but how do we know? Like, what's about? Well, you bring me in, I assess the situation, and then you sell the right thing, instead of just selling the generic 2 articles, 3 pages, 1 backlink. But I'm like, it's not going to move the needle at all.
That, what you just said, is huge, which is, so again, back to the taste. You still need the person to understand what a customer needs. Like, in AI, if you plug things into an AI platform, it can make some guesses, right? But like, the way that you know what every website needs is you've had experience in that industry, with that company or with that type of thing. And so that's why I mentioned that sometimes a customer will come to you and they'll say, hey, I care about my Google ranking. But if you actually run ads for them and they make more money, they don't care about their Google ranking. Once they're making more money, they're happy. And so it's like this, you have to have a certain eye. I think SEO more than anything is like an order of operations of like a process.
Yes, because you can do so many things at the same time, right?
It's like chess. You can make 100 million variables of the same thing if you just know what you should do. So like we were saying, if you have a site that is a new website, like, they probably need like directory listings and branding and basic PR just to, show the world they're real, they're new.
The foundation, yep.
Yeah, the foundational stuff. And then if you have a company that's killing it already, it might be something very small that can make a huge difference.
Technical change on a huge company, one small technical change replicated across thousands of pages. I've seen that numerous times.
Yeah, like a rel canonical tag is in there, need to remove it.
Like that.
Makes it a big difference. Or like indexing blow, or like one. So like sometimes just seeing which is like the door with the smallest lever that'll make the biggest, opening. So that, I think, takes time, and you need to be a specialist. And I think you need to be able to look at a customer and kind of figure out what they need. They'll tell you what they think they need, but you have to figure out what do they actually need. Like sometimes you'll talk to a B2B company and they're like, hey, I just want to have more conversations with prospects. And maybe they're coming to you for SEO, but hey, if we get an email system set up for you where it can book you 10 calls a month,
that's might win.
That's a win, and for the same budget you were going to pay us for this, we can do this much quicker in 2 months, So just knowing like how you can help the client win and then putting that in place.
I love that flexibility. I felt like with most big companies I work with, especially the French ones, they had issues with that. They're like, yeah, but we have our systems, we have our packages, we have everything, and we don't want to, we just want to offer this thing, specific thing. And I always had issue with that. And I feel like the best ones, they have your flexibility and they try to understand really what the client does need. And they're like, yeah, we can also offer you this. We can pause like content production for months, focus on technical fixes, and then go back to more link building, and then go back to maybe CRO. We don't offer that usually. We're going to do that specially for you. Just like, try to really understand what do they actually need and then offer that. And then you have a client for life, maybe not, but you should have good retention.
Yes, I think you'll have great retention. And then the opposite side of that is it's maybe not as scalable. So if you just have one plug and play model, you can get unlimited clients and you can do that one thing. So that's probably why people say it probably has a cap. If you're doing that kind of service, can you work with 1,000 customers at one time? Probably not. Probably 50 only, or it's some smaller number. So I think that's why people avoid against it. It's not as scalable, but I think it can create a better company and a better experience. Like, when you're like, what does this company do? This company could do 100 things. It's just to make you money, though. It's like, why would do it? So I think it's important. I go against the guru advice of like make everything repeatable process, package, system, and just keep doing it. You can do that and have some success, but I think it's more fun when you can do anything. If we have a customer that like has a great product and a great brand, maybe we'll fly out to their location and do a video, like actual videos, and then run YouTube ads and maybe try to get it on, Central TV, and maybe get it on, the Super Bowl or the World Series. Like that stuff can also be done from a marketing agency if you think outside the box.
Are you hiring right now? Just curious, asking for a friend.
We'll talk. I think we'll talk offline. I would love to poach you for sure.
For the last section, I don't want to take too much of your time. I think we're already a bit over time, but it's just so good. GEO versus SEO. So without going into like the whole drama,
do we need to LinkedIn a fight to the death?
Let's fight, but I want to see some blood.
Yeah.
I want to hear SEO is dead. I want to hear GEO now. I'm wondering, how do you sell GEO? How do you explain that to your clients? Is it an add-on on top of SEO? Do you think it's okay to sell GEO alone? I'm calling that GEO. You can call it the way you want. I don't care about all the terms, SEO and GEO. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm just interested in the concept and in your learnings, talking with the clients and understanding how you sell it.
It's another great question, and I think it's like a very deep question. So I'll try to be as quick as possible. But I think in the beginning, SEOs could see AI coming even back in like 2022. Like all the models, they were starting to become better and people were using it for content creation and all kinds of stuff. So in the beginning, when like long-term customers would like read a Washington Post article about GEO and they would send it to me. This is in like 23, 24. And they would, yeah, like a year ago, a little more than a year ago, like when the hypes first started coming in, I would get people who would send me articles like customers, and they'd be like, oh, hey, are like kind of freaked out. Like, are we doing this? And in the article, it would talk about like schema and like how schema is really important. And I would try to like kind of not fight the client, but I would try to tell them, hey, article is scaring you, but this is like 10-year-old stuff. That's one.
You need a meta title for GEO. That.
Exactly.
Do I have a meta title? Are we doing this?
It's like, yeah, like you should probably have like a robots TXT, and your pages should load fast. It's like, oh yeah.
Cool. I've been doing that for the last 12 years for you guys. Just heads up.
So that's how I was in the beginning when I would try to tell them like, hey, this is all stuff that we're already doing. And I think that's not good, because I think what it is when, a customer asks you about GEO, they already have this idea in their head because of LinkedIn and because of, CNBC, all these stock channels and stuff. They have this idea that like AI is this new thing and it's this revolutionary. So they should be doing it,
So if you come with an old like a script and you're like, yeah, but we are doing this and we just need to adapt, they might be actually unsatisfied and think you're not the right guy to talk to. Yeah. Not the expert. Yeah.
They're going to think, because it's just, whether it's right or wrong, it is what it is. They're going to think, oh, this guy he's been doing this too long. He's getting left behind.
You're washed out.
Yeah. You're outdated. Like, he's not keeping up with the times. So they want you to at least specify like some differences. So the guy that says AI SEO is good SEO, he's right, but the client doesn't want to hear that.
I think it's not enough though. I think you need to add a little something, as you said. For me, it's like good SEO for the basis. And then I noticed from my experiments, it's not, I don't know if that's real everywhere, but from my experiment, I noticed that, case studies were helping a lot. Freshness of content were helping a lot. Listicles were helping a lot.
Yeah.
FAQ. Exactly. FAQ. Yeah. On the other side, there's a lot of hype around other things like LLM.txt and schema markers for that, which I haven't found any correlation myself, but maybe, And I feel like this approach of honesty is really good. At least it worked really well for me. Even like for converting clients, being really upfront with them, be like, look, I found this on your website. Do you want to work with me or not? And usually it works quite well.
Yeah, just being real. And I think that point that you mentioned there's some differences. Geo and traditional classic SEO, there are some nuanced differences. But I think in the past year, we've leaned into it a little bit more. So now, at first, I thought it was such a like hype jargon word. And there are jargon things in SEO. Like back in the day, there was like LSI.
And it's like keywords.
Keywords. I remember LSI keywords. Like that was the new shit.
Oh, and the best one. By far the best one, I think.
I remember that. I thought it was such a big deal. And then there was things like, topical authority is one that I hear all the time, it's a good one and it's real, but it's based on like 90s content silos, Bruce Clay content silos in the 90s.
Yep.
And then in the 2010s, it's like, topical authority. It's the same fucking word. It's the same thing, like now it's like, chunking, your AI chunking.
You vectors, are you vectors good enough? You vectors. Wait, sorry, I left my vector at home. Wait.
Yeah, I got to do my calculations. But even like chunking, right? If you remember like rich snippets or like the
it's true with exactly the format.
Right over it. Exactly. So your answer is the chunk or whatever. So some of this stuff, it's like just old information that has a new buzzword. And so it's like, oh, wow, this is the new thing. Like, so I tell people SEO, to me, the real difference is it's search everywhere optimization.
Yes. Yep.
It's the real. So now you have to pay attention to Reddit and Amazon and Facebook groups and your Instagram and your YouTube, and your Wikipedia, any platform out there that you can be on, you should be on it. And you should have a presence there because AI can find you over there too. And it all gets jumbled up. So that's to me the main difference is like, you're not just doing SEO for Google, you're doing it now, on Amazon, even eBay. Like if you sell on other stores, you should make sure you have good reviews. The other thing is like, kind of like old is new, name, address, phone. Like, so that's something we did over the last, which is like standardize your bio, your company about page, your
NAP consistency.
Yeah. But that's something that like even 15 years ago we were talking about, but now it has like a little bit of a new purpose and a new meaning. Like does AI get the same about page? And
they need to get the same signals. And plus I literally just worked on a case like last month where they had inconsistencies with the NAP and they got the Google Ads account suspended because of that.
Yeah.
Went even further.
Yes. So stuff like that all matters. And then TikTok, Amazon, like video format, not just blog format, video format. Like what types of pages can we make on your site? Not a blog, but like a list with funny pages. So it's like a different thinking. But yeah, now we lean into it. So now if people are like, do you do AI SEO? We're like, of course. Yeah, we do AI SEO. And over time, we'll give them like the nuances of how this is slightly different than classic SEO. But we try to kind of make it like, hey, we're embracing the AI change. Whereas someone who says like AI SEO is the same thing as good SEO, it sounds like they're not embracing the change.
Again, about the balance, the nuances, that's where I think people have problems. And maybe I was the same initially. I think it was the same with a couple of tweaks and I realized it's a bit more than that. And I'm fine refining my opinion too, with once I get more elements. But yeah, I think people are too polarized right now. And when I talk to people, like when I meet people, I realize they're not using AI too much. I'm like, okay, yeah, I've been building this. I have a Google Search Console connected to my Cloud Code for like a month. So like, huh? And then I have my YouTube audit. I have the other audit, and then connected to data for SEO and other things. And I feel like people I haven't got caught up yet, and there might be an opportunity, and I'm not taking advantage of this opportunity right now. So I'm feeling a little bit frustrated, like because I'm doing the work, I'm automating everything, I'm doing that for my clients, but I'm not communicating around that. And I'm quite bad at selling myself with everything that I do. I'm better at doing it.
We talked about this, that like, and I noticed this too, the real geniuses sometimes are behind the scenes doing the stuff, but they're not that good at being promotional, and dude, every agency has there's at least one or a couple of people that they need just like you. So like in our company, we have like 2 or 3 people, my German team who does like some of our outbound. And then one of our content strategists, he's like a killer with Claude. Anything can be done with Claude code, like crazy stuff. And so you need like people on your team who are like super forward with AI and doing all the stuff and doing all the research. So
Yeah, and this is what drains me, and I don't know how to play the game without like just sharing the value that I think that I have without like playing with those guys, because that drains me too much. And I think I need to find this balance of just like, okay, this is what I'm creating, this is what I'm doing. I'm not saying this is the best thing, but it works for me, and that's it. And not really engaging with the rest of the PS that makes me want to throw up every time I go on LinkedIn.
yeah, it's horrible. And we talked about this, which is like, get your message out there and try not to consume all the other messages that are out there because it's too much. It's like LinkedIn gives me a headache, and I hate it. Honestly, I think it should be burned to the ground. I think it has a net negative on society.
Social media is the worst thing ever, but I also make a living thanks to it. So
I can't. I mean, I just think it's vapid. It's like hollow. It's empty. It has no soul. Some of the other platforms you can at least see like there's a soul in there, but LinkedIn has no soul. It has no soul.
I agree to reuse the LinkedIn language. I agree. Or what? Insightful thought, insightful post.
Yeah. 3-line ChatGPT response. Right. Here.
GPTs talking to other GPTs. Have fun.
Yeah. And actually that, to me, what was that? You heard about that social network? What was it, like Molt or something? Molt?
Yeah. Codebot and Molt.
Yeah, that to me has more soul than LinkedIn. A bunch of bots talking to each other. It's just, the corporate, the vapid, hollow. But so I have to do better at it too. This is why I try to do these cool podcasts. Your podcast I thought was the coolest. When I saw it, I saw a clip of like a washing machine or dryer going off. I was like, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing,
He knows what's up.
Yeah, it's real. It's like, that's the other thing too. So I think you can see authenticity and when people are real.
That's my whole goal. It's being authentic. It's not like being the best. I don't have the best insights. I think, I experiment. I have things to share, but I just want to be authentic. And I can't deal with the fucking BS. And I can't. It's just so draining to see the same shit over and over of people overselling themselves and be like, oh yeah. I mean, I just can't. I want something refreshing. Yeah. And I'm happy to be able to invite people like you and have these kind of conversations. And just being able to be ourselves, and be human. We fail, we learn, we experiment, and that's it.
I'm an idiot most of the time.
Yeah, I don't know shit. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Otherwise, you're a fucking arrogant motherfucker.
Yeah, and then there's some beauty in that too, which is like, in a way, I wish I could be that shameless and have no self-awareness. I kind of like, that would be cool if I could do that. But yeah, it's just like having a filter of realness, like, on who you are. And then, nobody's trying to be better than anyone. We're just sharing our experience.
Man, that was such a good talk. I loved it.
You gotta have editor add in some B clips because we have some.
Yes, they're gonna edit that shit. I'm gonna tell them to reuse the footage from the start. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah. At the end, I usually ask rapid fire questions. If you have a couple more minutes, if that's fine with you.
Yeah.
So basically, you can answer them really quickly. And so let me ask you the first question: what's the biggest red flag you saw on the first client call, or first, or not necessarily the first one, but with clients?
A big red flag that I see a lot is when they say that their past experiences have all been bad. That's usually a big one. When they're like, oh, this other agency didn't do it and they sucked, and this other agency sucked, and this agency sucked. And then you're like, maybe it's not the agencies that suck. Maybe, it's you as a client. And clients, there's important, they have a responsibility, which is they have to be there to help you do what you're doing. They have to have buy-in. They can't, if you have a customer and every time you recommend something, it's like a month-long process.
Right, then
then you're going to stop recommending things,
Of course.
And, so I think whenever a client says they've had a lot of bad experiences, that's a bit of a red flag.
I love that. It's for some people everyone else is the problem, and then they never consider that they could be the problem, or at least part of it in terms of communication or whatever. So
a college roommate, Yeah.
Exactly. Resume, that's the best example.
Yeah, all the roommates are bad, but it's like, dude, it's 10 people who say
Hey, it's you, dude. It's them, dude. I'm fine. Come on, dude.
exactly.
What's the worst advice you hear given to agency owners?
Oh, there's so much. Oh, dude, this could be a whole nother podcast, some of this stuff. Worst advice I hear other agency owners. I think there's a little bit of it. I think some of it is like delegate too much, like where they say delegate. Like you build into that. So you can't delegate everything from the very beginning. Like you have to build something and then you can delegate some stuff. I think that's like just those things that's like, oh, hey, every agency should be just like this. It should be cookie cutter. It should only offer one service. It should, things like that. It should hire a lot of people. Like some people, I do see that a lot too, where agencies get like an ego trip if they
hire too much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have 400 person team.
This is how they gauge their success, basically.
Success. And it's actually like, okay, well, there's probably problems that happen because you have 400 people on the team, So I think some of the cookie cutter advice for agencies, I don't think is good for everybody. And then the more people I meet and talk to that are running successful agencies, they agree. So like, I think most SEO companies do customize a lot of stuff because they have to. If you're a creative design agency that just makes images for agencies, then you don't have to customize things. You can have a process or whatever. But I think different agencies have different outcomes. And then the other thing I would say is like just too much information. You can there's so many courses and gurus and da-da-da and da-da-da. And the people that actually do things, I was bad at school. I think most people are in some ways like lesson 1, lesson 2, course 3, course 4. That's not the way people who get shit done. They don't do it that way. They just jump into it and then they do it.
And they figure it out on the way, fail, experiment, try again.
Try again. It might take 10 years and then they actually know how to do the thing. So even the person that's like, oh, I want to look at a course to learn how to do this thing, I don't think that's correct. I think the way you learn how to play basketball, you don't read a book, you shoot a basketball.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that. So I think
it goes back to your experience, how you got started and all of that. And that makes a lot of sense.
But in the beginning, if I would have asked like, how do I do this? Step 1, step 2, there was no step manual of how to do it. I had to make a mistake, do this thing, try this thing, do this thing, try this thing. If I was just like, looking at a course, I would have never started, basically.
If I would publish a course, that would be mostly around my failures, because I think the failures that I had were like, they really defined me and they helped me grow in such way. And I always thought that no, it's the successes that you have that make you grow. No. The failures make you grow so much more. Successes too that make you learn, but you learn so much more with failures. And when I was junior, I was so afraid of failing, so I was avoiding growth basically for like a long time.
Yeah, I think we all have that a little bit, and it's like what do they say? You learn more from criticism than a compliment, because one shows you what you need to fix, and the other one doesn't. So it's the same as failure. When you fail, you actually learn like, okay, what do I need to change? When you succeed, maybe with bad habits, that can also give like a bad signal.
We started with Socrates. We're finishing again with more philosophical ideas. That's lovely. I love it. Last question is to finish with this kind of philosophical thing. Is there anything you'd like to tell yourself? I don't know, when you first started or after a few years of starting and when you were doubting everything and you're like, the fuck am I doing here? Like, I don't know how to put things together. I don't know the different pieces of the puzzles. I don't know the next step. Like, is there something you'd like to, tell yourself, like a tip or anything?
I think that stuff happens every day. It still happens, no matter, year 1, year 5, year 10. It just, whatever problems and challenges change a little bit. So uptown problem, you might have different uptown problems, like, maybe now, you things are going great. You hired a bunch of people. Now you have now your problem isn't like a client fire. Maybe you have to talk to the team more. And so there's challenges and maybe you have to be even more available. So it just changes. There's nothing really there's not like a magical, like, hey, you made it, There's Yeah, there's no party or something like if pops up, hey, that goal that you had 10 years ago, you did it. It doesn't happen like that. And then the goals always keep increasing.
They keep evolving, they keep changing, you keep redefining yourself, what you want. You want more, sometimes you want less.
Yeah. And it changes. We get used to it. So whatever your goal is today, it's like we get comfortable with more and more and more. And so like, when you just started out, you may have had a really small goal and you crushed it, but now your goals are so high that you still feel like you're chasing something.
Yes. You still feel like you're behind, you haven't made it.
You haven't made it, you're not where you want to be, you late goal, it's too crazy, what are you going to do? But you forget that like all these other goals, you passed, you beat them. To make this goal so high. So if I was going to do something with like coaching or consulting or courses, it would also be the same. It would be more like mentorship and maybe mindset. I think mindset is you could be the best creator, you could be Elon Musk, you could be the smartest person, but if you don't have the right mindset to get past the challenges, like we were talking about it, we have deadlines. Sometimes like you have 5 big projects and they all have the same deadline week, right? So it feels that week feels like chaos because there's little things that have to be fixed for each one of these things. And so like there's always something that's going to stress us out. Like, oh, this isn't going perfect, or this needs to be better, this needs to be better. And I think there's just a mindset of like being happy with where you are. And that one's the hardest one.
Embrace it, just embrace the situation. The earlier you embrace this quote unquote stress and adversity and all of that, the more you can be able to play the game. Like it's a game you have to play. The more you run away from it, the less you're going to discover yourself, the less you're going to grow and all of that. So, and it took me so much time. I was afraid of everything. I was running away from everything. And then I started facing it. I was like, the fear disappears when you face adversity.
When you take
out, you start building, there's no fear. Like, I could do this way. Oh, it doesn't work well. Maybe something else. Ideas could start showing up,
Yeah, and I think when it's when it's mental and it's planning, then there's fear. As soon as you start doing the fear, because you're taking action, you're killing the fear. And then I think there's it's normal. Like we feel like we want to be better every day, all the time. And we don't see the wins that we've had up till today. We always think like today's challenge is the craziest challenge, but you've probably beat crazier challenges to get here. So I think, you can have people who have very successful companies, large companies, $50, $100 million revenue, and they're so busy, they look miserable. That's also not good, right? So like just remembering why you even did this. And I think the last thing is like bigger isn't always better. Like we talked about this a little bit. You can have the company that's like $1 billion company and you have so much responsibility and your life is crazy and you're getting paid good, but like you miss family events, or you can have that life, or you can have a life of like your local plumber who might have himself and maybe 2 other people working for him. He's pulling in good revenue, but he doesn't want to work too much. He wants to stay at home and, be with his family and whatever it is. You can have like a balance of those things.
The more I grow up, the more I think I'm heading towards the second choice. Initially, I wanted always more. I'm like, always more for what? Like, to get best, always more for what? If you don't have time to enjoy it, if you're overstressed, you have heart palpitation, you can't sleep because you're just working nonstop. What's the point? Like, if you're making 250 grand or whatever the amount is for you that you want, like making another couple of $100 grand isn't going to change your life, but dying over your job is definitely going to change your life.
And just feeling like stressed out. If you make that money, but it's like, it's mentally stressing you out where you hate what you do every day, it's not worth the money, And then if you maybe don't make a ton of money, but you have an easy life and you have all the freedom in the world and you can do whatever your heart desires, there's value, I think, to that life more than,
Yeah. You're also rich in another way, if that's what you want. Much money, if you don't have loans and all of that. I have friends doing that, just climbing in nature and working like 5 hours a week and just climbing the rest of the time.
I'm jealous of those people. So like there's a balance you can have a lot of different things in life, but you have to have an idea of what you want in life,
Man. Thank you so much, Sean. That was probably the best recording I ever had, and also the one I felt the most comfortable and just like enjoying the whole thing with no stress. Where can people follow you or reach out to you? Do you have any ICP you want to tell anything about your services or any of that?
Yeah, they can check out our website, alchemyleads.com. And actually, I think as of today, it's a new website. We redesigned it today.
I just saw it. Very slick.
Very slick, very cool. That was one of our deadline things this week. It's also like the last day of the quarter that we're talking, Q1 2026. I think Monday is technically the last day.
Okay.
So it's a busy time of the year. And yeah, people can just go to our website. If you're a business owner that runs a industrial business, a real business, we would love to have you. And then e-commerce is our other bread and butter. But yeah, just trying to do good stuff, trying to meet cool people. I think we'll party at one of these things at some point this year. We'll get together.
Hopefully in Thailand. I'm going to Brighton SEO in a month. I don't think you'll be there, the one in the UK. But
in Thailand in November, I'll probably be there with some of my team. And
I'll be sick.
And anything in the US, if you're doing anything in the US, tell me. I go to US shows all the time.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I definitely did. And if you found any value in the conversation, please give us a like, subscribe, and comment. Also, if you didn't like it or if you want to hear other topics, I always love feedback. So please add any feedback and check out Sean's website, alchemyleads.com, his LinkedIn profile. And until next time, we Collaborator.pro, a PR distribution marketplace connecting advertisers and publishers. Thanks for watching. Bye.
And if you don't like it, comment something negative in the chat. Comment something.
Yeah, as long as it's about Sean, not me. My ego is too weak.
Yeah, talk smack about Sean in the chat because I'll never silence.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.